All right, boys. I have not looked at the injury news, and I got teams to build. So this is a absolute interesting slate at the moment. Just an absolute interesting slate. So we got 5 entries in the Saturday kickoff here that we're gonna build. We got two. Sup, Jay Whitty? Appreciate you jumping in. Ask any questions you have. I'm still figuring out. I'm going to build 5 Saturday kickoff entries, and then I got the 2 single entry coffin corners that I got to build. And right now, currently, usually I would have all of my quarterback tandems set up. Currently, I have, I think, 2 that I'm interested in, and I have not built either one of these teams. News is starting to pour in. Somewhat why I haven't built some of these. I've built the low entry 20 max stuff, and I built all my FanDuel stuff, of which I am way too heavy on Will Hammond. Um, I can't get off of him right now. I'm extremely high on Will Hammond today, uncomfortably so. FanDuel easier at that price tag at 8,600. That's just ridiculous considering his rushing upside. But by comparison on DK, even at 72, I'm kind of interested. Matt Zenitz is now reporting that it's likely that Chris Vezina is going to start at quarterback today instead of Cade Klubnik. So Vezina, a lot of people I trust don't particularly believe in him. But that pass defense is absolutely atrocious. In low dollar stuff, I do have interest. I'm going to switch over to Vezina over Klubnik, and I'll still play some Clemson stuff through that. But do I want to, here, let's go to that game. So, like, with it being a 2:30 game, do I really want to play this? Like, at 7,400, I can't reliably play Vezina in this spot. I just don't think you can't. I can't do it in a $20. Like, I'm not playing Chris Vezina in this tournament. There's just no way. So, and then Weeks for LSU. LSU star linebackers not going to play this today against Vanderbilt. It's funny. I got some friends in town from out of state that we played golf yesterday. That's why I had a later stream, and they're like trying to bet today heavy. So they're betting on the South Florida Atlantic game that's over under 73.5. I think I told them to take the over. South Florida's going to hang 60, so it's just a matter. I mean, realistically, I think actually the best bet in that game is probably probably going to end up being South Florida team total over. Oh no, there's people are they're getting on Tyree Walker today now. Oh, I just don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm trying to see who the people are pumping so that I know kind of where ownership's going to go. Oh, that's hilarious. There's no way. That's the data table. That makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of funny that Stochastic is pumping Chris Vezina, considering that. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't think yeah, it's 73.5 over under. No, it's not on a slate. I wish it was. We got South Florida and North Texas last week. I was hoping that game would make it. There's a few games that I'm actually upset that aren't on various slates. All right. So hang on, I'm gonna talk about something actually. This does get me a little fired up. We'll say. So why in the world did we get Cincinnati, Oklahoma State on the FanDuel slate and Ohio State, Wisconsin, which are just trash, like just trashy games? Even Texas, Kentucky is debatable as to whether it should be there or not. But like, why can't we get Utah BYU on the FanDuel slate? Like, why is the Holy War not on the FanDuel slate? That doesn't make any daggone sense. Holy Wars, I will tell y'all, if y'all have never watched a Holy War game, you wouldn't think it, but those people from Utah, man, they'll get in fights. They hate each other. Like, they absolutely hate each other. It's awesome. It's a great game. I mean, even when I was younger, as a younger kid, that was my favorite game of the year to watch. One of the best games of the year. Anyway, all right, let's check our injury news before we start really building. By the way, I would say there's a very obvious answer as to who the you know Haynes King and Josh Hoover are the very clear top two quarterbacks on DK. I think I'm going to end up moving Will Hammond into the number 3 slot, but I'm going to go over quarterbacks because I'm going to try to figure out what the heck I'm playing and then kind of workshop with you guys where I'm at. Exactly. Thank you. That is one of the it might be, they just had a segment on Game Day where they were talking about, they said, they asked Nick Saban the most underrated rivalry. Of course, he went with Alabama, Tennessee, because, that man bleeds crimson. But that right there is the greatest rivalry is BYU Utah. It's so much fun to watch. All right, let's check out the. Oh, I was going to talk about. So Isaiah Satania at 3,600. By the way, I've come around. He's very much so my. He might as well be Ruben Owens at this point. It's very interesting. All right, let's look at this first. That's his slate right up. I'll get to that. Injury news and notes. Florida State. Let's see. Deuce Robinson. Okay, so it sounds like everybody's going to play. Des Reed is a game time decision. Lovely. I mean, how does he have 20 touches last week and he's questionable today against Syracuse? So I'll tell you on the late slate, if Des Reed plays, he's the best play on the slate. It's not close. It's 6,600. It's way too cheap. Him and Quintravian Wisner are just insane plays on that late slate at 66 and 65. Like, I would probably lock those two in with a USC running back, whether it's King Miller or Brian Jackson, whichever one you prefer. I think both are reasonable plays, but they're priced too cheap. So those three would be my 3 running backs, and it's not close. Dampier at 6,800. Love that on the late slate. I'm just going to look over the late slate real quick, and we'll run through it before we start building. Bear Bachmeier's got a nice price tag, too. I just prefer Dampier. I think Utah destroys BYU. But we all know weird things in late night games at BYU. They get weird. We've seen it last year with Kansas State. I was heavy on Avery Johnson in that game, and he played horrible. I'd say a second favorite guy is probably Ty Simpson. It'd probably be Ty Simpson. Dampier is where I'm probably going to lean to. And then I'll probably run those 3 backs out. And then I love Jeremy Bernard's price tag. Probably like Jonte Cook a good bit. Chris Brazel's got a good price tag. Isaiah Horton, good price tag. They always leave Cam Coleman so priced up there. I like Cam Coleman on FanDuel. DeAndre Moore's got a good price at 3,700. I might end up going Arch Manning. That would be so much more fun. 200 less than Ty Simpson. Just stupid play of all time, and just play it. That'd be so stupid of me. I agree with you, Jay Whitty. But you don't have to convince me on Texas Tech. All right, here's what we're going to talk about first, because I got to figure this out. So and this is probably I'm gonna end up building the same team I built yesterday because it fits so perfectly and it just feels so good. And I'm playing it in a low dollar tournament, but I'm gonna end up playing it in way too much stuff probably. So I don't think I can play either quarterback in this LSU Vandy game. I don't love Pavia facing LSU's defense, and Nussmeier's too banged up. I'm probably out on both of them. I'm talking about just this tournament specifically because this is the one that I'm tough. I'm struggling with is what pairings do I want for these five teams that we're about to build. Houston, Arizona. I don't think I could play either of these guys. I don't like particularly either one of them. Like if I was going to play one, it would be Wiegman, but I feel like I ran really well just to get what I got last week out of him against Oklahoma State, and the matchup's nowhere near as good against Arizona. Both of these guys I love. So I think playing both in the same lineup, perfectly fine. I'm just way too in on Bryson Washington. He's behind me. So I'm struggling there, but I'm willing to play both of them. I have no problem playing both quarterbacks from Baylor TCU. I'm way down the road on that one. Oh, more injury news. Romello Brinson expected to play for SMU. I prefer Jordan Hudson if you're playing a SMU wide receiver. He's 3,300. He's really good price tag there. I actually do really like him. Vizina, yes, we got that news. He's probably going to start. Yes, he was a former top 75 recruit. Does not mean he's good. Justice Haynes is questionable. I still don't think he gets a full share. If you want to take shots on Jordan Marshall, I have no issue with that whatsoever. Will I in these high dollar teams? Maybe. I do have interest. I think Jordan Marshall's fine. I don't love him, but I'm fine with it. Marlon Klein is also out, which does not matter. We're only going to play Andrew Marsh in that spot. So that's kind of where we're at right now. That's interesting. All right. That's where we're at with the. So let's just figure out our quarterbacks here. Obviously, Haynes King is a great play. So I'm all in. I got no problem. I don't even think it's a way to be different. So Soda, I think I'm going to play it in this tournament. Is this? I think I'm going to end up on this. This is kind of where I'm getting to with it. Is like I have no problems playing this in this tournament. I believe I have it set up. Yes. Well, it's probably going to be a third way I play it, but yeah, because I'm going to build 5 of these. I have no issues doing it for single entry. I think this game has the best chance of shooting out. The only thing with it is I do think personally the best pairing for single entry and the most popular pairing is going to be this. And that's definitely my favorite way to play it. And I'm going to have a single entry with this, and I'm going to have I'm going to have at least one entry in this contest with this. So, but I'm perfectly happy. Sadly, that's probably my 3 favorite quarterbacks. But I would rank them King, Hoover as 1 and 2 more than likely, just because I don't trust Kavorian Barnes. Now, I kind of want to put DeMond Williams in a team. I don't think Michigan's defense looked very good. The rushing upside is tantalizing. Can he outscore the likes of Haynes King, Josh Hoover, John Mateer in that same range? That's what I'm wrestling with right now. I think he can, but they have not had to play out of the state of Washington except for this Maryland game, and they came out sleepy. So that's what scares me. And do I want to bet? Do I want to bet 20 shekels on it? 20 hard-earned DK dollars on Demond Williams. I'm tempted. I think that's a way that does he have the upside to win this tournament for me? Yes, I think so. I agree. I agree. And I don't think they're going to have I just don't know that I don't even know that you need to stack him. You can with Boston. You could with what's the kid's name? I got to see what that kid's name is. I don't love that they're playing so early. That's one thing. I really do think it's a very good price. Matir and Maeva both played pretty good against Michigan. I I think there's a legitimate shot that Washington does win this game. I think they should be a better play. You know, Michigan's kind of struggle with the middle of the field. I think they're going to put extra guys on Boston. I mean, you could even punt. Like you could play Roebuck, you could play Boston, you could play Raiden Vines Bright with him. I think Jonah Coleman's kind of struggled running the football lately. Um, so if I was going to play through that game, it's going to be that way. I definitely think I'm going to play Matir in a team. I think the upside's there. I don't think South Carolina's very good. I think that Jay Whitty. So the thing is, I think he's played well. I wouldn't say that Underwood's been bad. You also got to remember, I think they had MAC level wide receivers heading into the year. McCulley couldn't find the field for Indiana for the last 2 years. So if you've got a wide receiver that couldn't find the field on Indiana, which I don't think outside of Surratt they have a difference maker, and you come into the year with that being your number one, along with Samaj Morgan, who clearly is just an awful player. Now, Andrew Marsh has delivered. If I'm playing him, I want to play either Andrew Marsh or Jordan Marshall. I think Jordan Marshall is going to be good, but I think Marsh has a massive ceiling. This slate has such weird. There's a lack of high end running backs to spend money on, and there's a lack of high end wide receivers I really want to spend money on, like high, for reasons we're going to talk about. I think Matir needs to be in at least one team. On if you're playing, let's just say you're playing 7 total high end entries. I like Marsh. I think Marsh could be a great player. And I think they bring in some transfers in the offseason to pair with Underwood. He's been good enough. So I don't mind paying the 8,100 on Matir. I think Matir can outscore King, Hoover, Demond, all those guys in that range. I think that's very viable. Now, I don't love it, but if I'm playing the 5 entries, throwing a dart on Matir in 1 out of 5 makes a ton of sense, given that I think all the ownership goes to those other guys. This game is the pivot point. I think I'm going to fade it outside of the running back, outside of Ruben Owens. I think I'm going to end up fading this game. That is where I don't feel comfortable. So I have it in some low end stuff. I have some game stacks of it, but with all the weather issues and all the problems and the stop starts that could happen, I just think fading this game makes a ton of sense. If there was no issues, I would say Marcel Reed's a fine play, and I would be interested and I'd want to have a piece of him. I just think I'm going to end up off because I don't want to deal with a slop fest where he ends up playing terribly. And I think that's a viable option where this game just ends up being sloppy and nasty, and I don't want any part of it. So there's too many other good options I'd rather take shots with, probably out there in this specific contest. I'll have exposure. 20 max, get exposure. But if you're going, big game hunting, I'd probably stay away. Chambliss, I think, needs to be in the pool. It's kind of similar, though. I think there's legitimate risk he gets benched midway through this game. So I don't know whether I want to take that shot or not. He's kind of similar to he's in that Demond Williams, John Mateer tier where any of them could rush for 100 yards and multiple scores, throw for 250 and a score or two. I probably just have more confidence in Demond and Mateer, and I don't think I need to save the money. I don't want to play particularly at Georgia, so that's kind of where that's difficult. No shot I'm playing Kevin Jennings. He just does not have upside. Klubnik probably out. Then I don't love Vizina at 74. Even in this matchup where they're SMU's pass defense is awful. I don't mind taking shots on the wide receivers still, specifically Bryant Wesco. And I still don't hate playing Adam Randall. I know he's playing worse, but I still don't hate playing Adam Randall. They're going to have to play through somebody, and I think it's those two. Sayan has no ceiling, great floor, but he's not winning this tournament for me. Wisconsin's awful, so no thank you. And then I refuse to play Sam Levitt at 8,800. He's banged up, playing probably a top 10 defense in the country if I was to rank it. So I like Will Hammond. So we've kind of gotten to the point where you're looking at, okay, what combination of Will Hammond, Trinidad Chambliss, Demond Williams, John Mateer, Sawyer Robertson, Josh Hoover, and Haynes King do I want? Haynes is listed as questionable. That's the latest that I have. Let me check with somebody else. I got a Michigan guy that there's. Let me see what my Michigan guy said. So the only thing we really know where we're kind of at is there's a chance. Sharon Moore kind of saying there's a chance he'll play, feel good, but we'll see how he progresses through the week. I still don't think he plays, or if he does, it's barely. So I would definitely not play Justice Haynes this week. That's a 0% chance. And I've got some Jordan Marshall exposure for sure. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. How much Haynes King is too much Haynes King? That is the $1 million question. I think Sawyer King. So that's 2. I think we play. Let's play the stack in this. We'll play it in that. Let's play Hammond. I want to have the hammer late in one of these with King. And then we're going to play Hammond. Oh, God, I don't love that. I think I got to do that. All right. I don't think I'm going to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I can on that. Okay. All right. All right. I want 3 Haynes King entries. Yeah. I want 3 Haynes King entries. I've got 2 Josh Hoovers, 2 Hammonds, 1 Sawyer Robertson. Do I want a Demond Williams with Josh Hoover? I think that makes a lot of sense. Or do I want it with Hammond? All right, we're going to build this out. All right, let's start building. Sorry. I'm thinking. My mind runs like a billion miles an hour once I start thinking through this stuff. All right. So, first team, we're going to make it very simple on this. I definitely know that I'm going to want Haynes King, Josh Hoover. Now, I already kind of know exactly the way that I built this other team. So let's just pop this stuff in. This is very easy. McAllister, very simply. All right. So I'm going to let's see. I still think Bryson Washington personally is a better play than Cameron Dickey. Uh, but I think you can also play both very easily. Let's go flex. I want to get running backs in because they're cheap. Reuben Owens. All right, so let me see where I land when I do this because I think I've done this on a team, but I don't remember. See if we do that. Yes, I know I made this work. Yeah, oh yeah, that's easy. Oh, I know exactly how I made this work. Okay. But I don't love that because I want to play Satania. I got anybody at 3,100 I like? Not really. Because I think I did make a team like that with one other player. You could play Giovanni Gibson, but not with Satania. I think I know exactly how I made this work though. I went Hudson. I definitely went Caden Lee, Jordan Hudson. So that's one way to make that work. What's Isaiah Canyon's price? 34. You could go Canyon over Lee for sure. So the question becomes is do you want to play it that way? Lee, Hudson, Dickey? Do you want to get off of Dickey and play it through Cameron? So now I can go Cameron. And then that would allow you to go like you could go 5K with 4,400. So I hate the 4,400 range though, because then you end up on like an Eric Rivers team, and I don't like that. I would like to play Satania at 36, which I don't hate that. So if I go there, then I've got 58. I think the ultimate pivot play is Jamal Haynes. It's going to be the most uncomfortable click of your lifetime. But if he somehow pops like 130 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then Haynes King doesn't get there, it is the ultimate troll job. Like that is the ultimate pivot. I'm really tempted to have one like that. Oh, I know what I did. I went away from Dickey, and then I have a team. So I have a team. I have this team in a lineup with Bryson Washington in this Dickey spot, and then you get the choice of Jacoby Williams, who was banged up last time out, or Bo Jackson as your two options. That was where I ended up on a team for sure. So I don't like playing it this way with Cameron and Satania. I like Satania a ton, but I just don't think that's the play. I think McAllister with him, I think Dickey going to be end up being popular for good reason. Dickey's been playing extremely well. I do really like the idea of getting the Will Hammond or the Dickey Jordan Tyson bring back. I think that game is fun in that spot, and you're able to kind of get some really interesting stuff out of that. I really do like Satania. I feel like Satania is almost a must in this spot, in this particular lineup. But then I can't get the Bryson Washington that I want to get. All right, let's go Bryson Washington. I know I've played this. I think I played this. And I like, so it's either, do I want to stack Canyon with him? Canyon had more than 44 yards in each of the last four before that. They didn't have to throw the football very much. Do they have to throw the football a lot more in this one? Duke, most vulnerable on the back end versus the run. They're better, a little bit better against the run. Their numbers are decent there. I don't mind playing Canyon in this spot. How much more risk is there playing Canyon versus playing Caden Lee? Caden Lee, a lot more targets. The volume should much more be there. I probably prefer that way, and that I'd probably prefer Jordan Hudson, knowing that he's getting a ton of target volume as well. It's just a lot more, not a lot less thin of a play, we'll say, for sure. So let's do that. I think we go that way. I'm a Washington guy personally. In the $5, I'm gonna play it in the single entry. I'm gonna play it a different way. McAllister, Hudson, Lee, and Owens. All right, let's go with that. All right, let's book that $5 right now. So I'm gonna share that one. All right, so update entry. Thoughts on the Arizona running back room? I like Riscano. I think Kedrick Riscano is definitely the top option for me. Ishmael Mahdi really struggled. He's going to kind of be known as the guy who burned us that 1 week, and that's about it at this point. Houston is fairly decent against the run. I mean, Mahdi ran for 30 yards against freaking Oklahoma State. That's just death. Riscano, he's rushed for 90 yards and a score against BYU. Led them in rushing. BYU is actually a pretty stout run defense, so I'm pretty enthused by that. I would say 30. He's definitely the best punt running back option if I want to get there or need to get there in that 3,200 range in a flex spot. He's definitely my top option there. Yeah, and then they've just Houston is a little bit better against the pass than they are against the run. They're ninth in pass D success rate and 36th in limiting explosives. Yes, sir, Jay Whitty. What you got? What you got? So we're gonna go with a second Haynes King, Josh Hoover team because we're crazy. Interesting. A wide receiver in the flex ends up winning it more often, probably because of PPR. I've started to lean more into that, I will say. I've noticed that a lot more. Traditionally, you would consider that the running back, I don't love the running backs on this slate, so I'm going to end up more on that. I definitely have a lot more wide receiver in the flex than I usually do. I really only, from my standpoint, the running back wise, the guys that I'm way into I'm into Dickey a lot more. I'm into Reuben Owens a ton. I like Nate Shepard. Bryson Washington, I probably like far more than the field. Bo Jackson, Jacoby Williams. I don't love Bo Jackson. I don't think I'm going to have very much Bo Jackson. I don't mind Jacoby Williams. I will take shots there. Riscano, I have interest in. And Marshall at 42, I actually kind of like. But if I don't get confirmation on Haynes, I'm not going to go heavy on him. Wide receiver wise, I think Tyson is an interesting play. I'm probably out on Jeremiah Smith unless I just have money to burn and I feel like going there. I like Tyson, though. We know he's going to get peppered with targets. I much prefer him in this spot on DK than I do on FanDuel. But even then, both spots, he's priced down where he shouldn't be. I still like Wesco at 59, but I'm going to limit. I probably like him 4 points less than I would with Klubnik. McAllister obviously is too cheap. Barcate, I'm in on at 6K. I will take shots there. Boston at 6.6, I like. Satania, I love at 3.6. He is just an absolute smash. He's going to get a ton of target volume. He played well even against Texas, and it wasn't even a good spot for him, we'll say. So I actually really like that. Let's play a 3 wide receiver team in this. Let's do that. Let's do that. I know I want Satania at 3.6. Let's do that. I know that let's see. We got to play Ruben Owens. Like it's just not a question, not in single entry. It's just stupid not to. Um let's play Dickey. Why not? Yeah. I think that see like this is so frustrating right here for me. Oh, why did I put Wesco in? I didn't want Wesco. I didn't even want Wesco. Although I don't hate that. Oh, that's possible. I was gonna say this is what I wanted to play. But see, I don't like playing Michael Trigg here. So that's where it gets tricky. Like I'm not a Michael Trigg guy. I get the Michael Trigg hype. I'm just not a Michael Trigg guy. So like I would prefer to play Wesco in this spot. That's interesting though. I didn't mean to click on like I would love playing it. You tell me I get to play this. I love it. So like in this spot, ugh, I'm gonna do it. All right, we're playing this team. I know exactly how I want to do it. I'm playing it this way. Screw it. That's how you play that team. Yeah. You play Wesco, Satania, Cameron, McAllister. You get that's literally my top 4 wide receivers this week in yeah. I also think Hudson at 3.3, great play. Quayshawn Brown, 3.9, great play on a points per dollar basis. Andrew Marsh, 3.9, very good. Caden Lee, 3.4. Like there is so much value at wide receiver. I have leaned in heavily to the value wide receivers this year, and they pay off in spades because they get there more often than not. And their upside is very similar to these top guys, but we've seen Eric McAllister stink. We've seen Jeremiah Smith stink. We've seen Wesco. I called the Wesco non-factor game a couple weeks ago. Denzel Boston. Like these are not Brandon Cooks plays from Brandon Cooks from when he was at Oregon State, just ripping 200 yards and 3 touchdown games every week. Like those guys don't exist anymore. Exactly. Exactly, Jay Whitty. Finding wide receivers at value is the way to play. I think this is a good lineup. This is a very good lineup in my opinion. It's got massive ceiling and a good floor in a single entry. This is the big single entry. Um man, trying to figure out if there's another way I could play this. You know what the way to play this team is? Actually, to play this. Oh, I'll tell you exactly the way to play this team and get Ruben Owens right here. And I don't know that I feel comfortable doing it, but the proper way to do it is to put John Mateer in for Josh Hoover. I think I have that exact team built somewhere else. You put John Mateer in for Josh Hoover. That saves you the 200. It gives you the 200 to go get Ruben Owens and play those wide receivers. Because I prefer Ruben Owens far more than Jordan Marshall. I just don't think Marshall's explosive. Now he might get 15 to 20 carries, but what's he going to do with them? I don't know that I trust Marshall that much. I don't trust that. I don't know if I trust myself to play that team in this contest. I'd play it in the other one. I'd have no issues playing it in the other one, but I don't know that I want to play Mateer in this one because Hoover's floor is just so much better. And I don't know, like my certainty that Marshall gets outscored by Owens is nowhere near the I think Hoover outscores Mateer option. Hoover outscores Mateer probably 6, 7, probably 7 out of 10 times. Marshall and Owens is probably 55-45 either way. I don't know that there's that much difference. Even then, I still think Dickey outscoring Jacoby Williams is probably 60-40, which is the thing that bothers me the most about this slate. I don't want to buy into the Dickies thing. That's why I'm going so heavy on Bryson Washington. Is I just prefer Bryson Washington to Dickey in my mind, but that might just be a fallacy. So I'm trying to lean in a little bit more to Dickey, because if you look at running back at the top end, running back at the top end sucks. Moss out, Haynes I think's out, so you can't play Haynes. Coleman's stinking right now, so I can't play that. Raleek Brown I'm not gonna touch against that defense. Dean Connors, meh. Like, he's just not getting utilized the way that he was at Rice for me to want to play him at that price tag. Mike Washington, I don't particularly like, and I think A&M's going to beat up the Arkansas team, so I don't love that. What's up, JB? Randall, I think, has become less efficient. He's very much so in the Jonah Coleman spot. So then I'm all the way down to Shepard. All right, cool. So there's one guy two guys that I'm willing to play at the top, Dickey and Washington. And then there's mid-tier, and I've got salary to burn all over the place. So that's why I'm ending up on, how much if I'm comparing where I'm spending my money, do I prefer Bryson Washington or Dickey to Jordan Tyson, basically, because I don't like Blake, don't like Craver that much. I like Tyson. I'm okay with spending on Jeremiah Smith. I just don't love it. You're looking at Javonte Barnes. I thought about that. I've heard some on that. He's out. He is out. Let's see. Yep, he's out for South Carolina. He's still out. So yeah, if I was taking that shot, you're talking Blaylock. Arizona State has struggled. Let me pull those numbers. I'm pretty certain Arizona State not great against the run. Let's see. Arizona State, it ranks 109th in rush defense success rate. So I would think so. King, Owens, Washington, Wesco, Satania, McAllister, Manjack, Hoover. I like that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I could see that working. Yeah, because you're going to play Mike Washington. Yeah, I don't mind getting doubles with Manjack. I think that's very reasonable. Or no, are you talking about Bryson Washington? I like that a lot, actually. I like that a lot. Yeah, play the heck out of that. Yeah, that's a damn good team. I'm tempted to plug that sucker in myself. I actually really like that. Owens, Washington, Wesco, Satania, McAllister, Manjack, Hoover. Oh, I don't mind Kavori and Barnes. So I do have some of that. I think they're a different. I think everybody plays this game through McAllister, Hoover, and then probably Coleman or Trigg. I like the option of playing Sawyer, and we're gonna do that. There is an option to play Sawyer, Barnes, McAllister, Cameron as your game stack. I think that is the fun. I do have that played out a little bit different. And I think that's a very fun way to do it. Marshall, Dickey. Hang on. Do I have swaps? Oh, no. I'm going to have to look at Jordan Marshall stuff. I still got to keep an eye on this Marshall stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep an eye on that just in case. Because what I'll do is that my swap's going to end up being I'll get the Owens one way or another, whether that's dropping Hoover down or something to Mateer. I'm fine with that. Or maybe it's Cameron, honestly. It could be Cameron, and I just go screw it. I'm getting off of Cameron. Because there is a swap here. So, like, if I had to get off if I wanted to get to Owens, I would probably swap here. I'll have 5,500. I don't have a problem playing Reggie Virgil in that spot to get off of Cameron. You can easily do that. I don't want to double stack Trig. Now, what I will say is Virgil, when Will Hammond played that second half, Virgil went 6 for 72 and a touchdown. Let's pull that number up because I had it up just a second ago. I'm actually very interested in Coy Eakin because he didn't do anything the week before. So when Will Hammond came in for the second half against Utah, we see Reggie Virgil had 6 for 72 and a touchdown. 5 of the 6 catches were with Will Hammond in the game, whereas Caleb Douglas had 2 catches and Coy Eakin had 1. And then same thing like Terrence Carter on FanDuel wise. 4 of his 7 catches that day were from Will Hammond, including a 24-yard touchdown. So I have a ton of interest in Terrence Carter on FanDuel and a good amount of interest in Reggie Virgil on DK here. So if I was going to make the swap, it would just be as simple as swapping Marshall out for Owens. That's going to leave me 5,500. I'll play that right there. I don't mind playing Dickey and Virgil. I just feel terrible paying that price tag for Dickey. I don't know why, but I just do not like it. I don't feel comfortable with it. I really want to get off of that. Like, I'm really tempted to go into this range. I'm moderately interested in that, but I don't love it. Maybe I end up wanting to go there. Feels icky. Feels icky either way you play it. I do like Nate Shepard a good bit, though. But yeah, so let's plug in Dickey. Dickey's playing so well. It's so hard to get off of him. Maybe you end up on like a Rascano for the hell of it. You go down 1,000. If you go down 1,000, that gives you 6,900 for the flex. Maybe that's where you go, and then you're able to just swap to Adam Randall over Wesco. I don't love that either. I think Wesco ends up eating Jordan Marshall. So let's go there. All right. We got that in. So let's go with that for now. All right. That is our big coffin corner. Boom. All right. Kickoff number 2. Let's go Sawyer Robertson. Let's go Haynes King. Yep. Then in this, I still think I'm going to end up on Dickey more than likely. We know we're playing Ruben Owens. We know we're going to play. I want to play my guy, Cameron, in this. I want to play McAllister in this. I'm way overexposed to McAllister, but I like him too much not to be. I still think let's just go down and play Satania. We'll plug Satania in, but we can always come off if we need a couple hundred. It's kind of easy to get there if we need to. All right, we got that money left. What do we got? Let's just say we play Dickey. Leaves we have 52. Oh, man, that's just a weird stack. Like if you played Jacoby Williams and Dickey, it works more than you'd think. I actually kind of have interest in maybe playing Carnell Tate in this spot. You could get some upside out of that. Maybe it's Bo Jackson. Maybe this is the shot you take on Bo Jackson, But this is also a spot where you could just say, hey, I'm going to play Kavorian Barnes. That has moderate interest to me. Maybe that's like where you go. You get that Baylor TCU game stack, but with Barnes. That's interesting. In the world. So yeah, so I think that's a interesting play for sure. Why does this thing look all weird? There we go. I mean, how much Dickey is too much Dickey? You know what I mean? I feel like, well, this is probably the only two that I'm going to end up with Dickey in because I've got Will Hammond and I'm not playing Dickey and Will Hammond together. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that right out the gate. All right. If I've got 3 kings, so let's play. All right. So yeah, we're going Nutter Butters on this one. We're going Demond on that. There you go. Washington for sure. Okay. All right. That's the way. Let's see. So I don't think. I'd rather have Bo Jackson in that spot. I just have this feeling Bo Jackson's getting 100 yards and 2 touchdowns here. Does he win you the slate? I don't think Kavorian Barnes can win you the slate. Well, can he win you the slate? If he gets me 25, he might. I think Bo Jackson can get me 30. If I can get 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's say, yeah, I think he can get me 30. Look at this, like this Ohio game. If he can get me 2 touchdowns on top of that line, he gets 30. 30 would do it. I think he could do it. Tanya scores a good amount of points. I don't love 3,800 in that spot. I would prefer Satania for sure. What if I could go Riscano or somebody else? Could go Bo Jackson here. Go Jordan Tyson in here. So you're playing Dickey or Jordan Tyson for the most part, which we're going to end up with enough Jordan Tyson. So let's go with this. God, I'm going to end up hating myself at some point. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to say whatever the winning lineup is at some point. It's just a matter of whether I end up playing it or not is the main question. But I guess you're throwing darts at the dartboard either which way. Bojack. I gotta have some Bo Jackson. All right. Let's go to the second coffin corner because I'd rather finish that one up. All right, we're gonna update that entry, leave a little bit on the board. All right. This is gonna be fun. Okay. You know what? I mentioned playing this a weird way. Let's do it. I don't mind playing Cameron. Now, the question is, do I want to play Kavorian Barnes in this? Can Hoover throw a touchdown to Barnes? 3 catches. I don't know that Barnes can catch enough balls. Same thing like Bryson Washington is not going to catch a touchdown from. He did last week, but I don't think he'll do it again. I think you're either playing Washington or Robertson type deal. Do you want to play Manjack? I don't think so. He kind of got Wally pipped by Ed Small last week. Ed Small got a ton of targets. Do I want to play Kobe Prentice? He doesn't play very much, but all he does is catch touchdowns. I think Ashton Hawkins is interesting. I think there's better plays than Kobe Prentice at that price range. I think maybe we just end up on this. I think we go a little bit more simple there. And I can nail the running backs better. Cheers. Very nice, Ian. Very nice. Now I'm going to end up too overexposed to Dickey this week. Yeah, I like Dickey, but he's gonna make me nervous. He's gonna make me nervous. Something's gonna be stupid. That's for sure. I'm gonna do something. So that's easy. Easy money right there. Let's see. Who can win it all? I think Wesco's interesting here. What if you go Wesco cheap wide out? So let's say 3,600. That's 7K. I don't think you need that. Yeah, because then I would end up there. I don't love that. What if we do Jordan Tyson? I could make that work. Um, I can make that work. That would get me. That would get me Bojack. So I could get Bojack here if I wanted, and then go Satania. Well, actually, you know what? Oh, hell yes. Give me Jacoby. Oh, hell yes. That's what I wanted. I'll take that shot on Jacoby in this. Single entry. I'll take all that ownership flowing to Dickey. I'm gonna take Jacoby as the shot in the dark. I get this game bring back. Oh, hell yeah. Also, very big key here, folks. Reminder in your flex, make sure you play your latest guy. Give yourself as much flexibility as possible. Don't do stupid stuff. That is very simple things that can end up just destroying you. So they can be very detrimental to you in the long run. But all right, so we're gonna play this. No, why the hell am I playing both? Oh my god! Oh, I didn't do that. I mean, never mind. I'm a moron. I clicked on Dickey. I'm like, why the hell am I playing Dickey in this spot when I got Jacoby Williams? This is the same. I feel like it's the same team I just built. I feel like it was the Sawyer Robertson Josh Hoover team. I just switched out I switched out it's literally the same team. I just built this freaking thing. It was Sawyer with Haynes King, but they're the same price, so I swapped them. I put in Jordan Tyson over Dickey, and then I shoved in Jacoby Williams over Bo Jackson. That's literally the difference in this team. All right, well, that's a fun way to play it, I guess. We're getting a different way. All right, let's share this. That's funny. That's hilarious. That it's literally the same stupid team. All right, Jacoby, Cameron, McAllister. You can tell I'm very in on a certain segment of players this week that we're getting really in there. Oh my God. David is going all in, boys. I love to see it. All right, you're debating. Let me see what Ian's debating here. Which two between King, Sorsby, and him? Ian. Ian, why not? I will tell you right now, King Sorsby Hammond, I am legit. I did a bunch of King Sorsby teams. I did a bunch of King Hammond teams. And then I did a bunch of Sorsby Hammond teams in addition to my actual game stats. That's exactly what I did. I'm very much so on FanDuel running. I'm running a bunch of King Hoovers. I think King Hoover is your best play. If you're running one team, single entry, King Hoover is the best play for my money. That is my. Let me show you, David, because I've got. I'll show you the team that I've built for King Hoover. I want to make sure that I show you that team. because I just built it on here. All right, let's open. So let me see. That's Robertson King. All right, let's share. So this is the team that I am playing. What? What do you mean? All right, it's being weird. Should be good. Um, all right. So that's the team that I'm playing. Uh, I like the way it's built. I would prefer if in here I was able to get Satania. I just don't love the $3,100 options. All right, good. Appreciate it, Jay Woody. I don't know why it sent me a message. Is like StreamYard was hating me for a second. I think that there's an option somewhere in here to get 3,100 guy in. Appreciate it. Very good. Very good. Like who that is, it's probably if the weather in this freaking A&M Arkansas game is jacked everything up because otherwise, like I would love to be able to in this lineup play Satania and then play Raylan Sharp. Raylan Sharp's usage has gone vastly through the roof once Petrino became the OC full time. And remember, he came over, he played for Petrino at Missouri State. So I think this is interesting. I think this one's interesting. I think this is a way to play this. I would understand as well if you wanted to plop in Ruben Owens here and then kind of move around some things to get an extra wide out in. Let's see. Let's see what I could do if I did that. Let's play it this way. Let's do Bryson Washington. I'm perfectly happy with. Let's play Ruben Owens here. Yeah, I think it's going away from the ability to play multiple running backs because of the price cost differential and all this stuff. Let's say we play that. Let's say we play. Yeah, that puts me right back where I was. If I do that, which then like still lands me in that same spot. Yeah, which I'm fine with. I don't love though. Maybe I end up on Wesco in that spot if I was to swap it around. I mean, I know most people what they're just gonna do. Oh wow, that dude just drilled it. Oh, that was Hot Rod Blankenship. That's why. I was like, man, that dude just drilled that kick. Yeah. See, I think that makes a ton of sense too, David. So there's risk with Sorsby. Yes. Um the question is I think you can play it both ways. I have a little bit of I mean their run game has struggled so bad. I don't know what to do with it. I think there's like a 15% chance Tyree Walker just scores 4 touchdowns and we're like, why didn't I not play Tyree Walker? I played a little bit. There's a 10% chance or maybe a 15% chance that Evan Pryor runs for 200 yards because he's on 8 carries. And then there's like a 60% chance that it goes through Sorsby. So that's kind of where things are a little awkward at the moment on that. I think Eakin's a fun play. Oh, ooh. You know who else is fun? Eric Rivers is fun at 41. Yeah. Marsh is fun. I like these lower end guys a ton. So, like, do you play it through this? Maybe. I mean, this is where you get your Barnes exposure, or you get Man Jack in there. You could easily. Oh wow, that dude hammered that ball. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with these. I like Bryson Washington. I like you throwing down just a massive stack on that TCU game. That is a different way to play it. I think most people are going to play that through Hoover McAllister. Um, hmm. I think it's a very different way to play it because nobody's going to play it as Hoover Barnes. Everybody's going to play it as Hoover Manjack or Hoover Ed Small, Hoover McCall. I think everybody's going to play it Hoover McAllister. I don't think anybody plays it as Hoover Barnes. So you have outs for that to win. What's the entry structure on that? I'm trying to remember what the 222 is. Trying to remember that one. Let me see. Leave that. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting all the touchdowns. The question is, can he run them in? That's kind of where I'm trying to figure out is, can they combine for touchdowns as much as I would like them to in that spot? That's what I'm trying to factor into that. What is the 222? Is that single? That's multi. What's this? You're going to be playing with the big dogs, my friend. You're going to play with the big dogs. There's some big boys in that tournament. There's some big boys in there. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a situation where, man, if you get 2 passing touchdowns from, like if somehow you get Hoover to throw 2 touchdowns to Barnes, you've got so much leverage on the field, especially if McAllister stinks up the joint, that's just, you're way ahead of the field. Yeah. That is the way to play it. I managed to find a way to not go to the casino last night with the guys that were in town. I was like, that's really tempting, boys, but I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna stick to we played golf. I'm good. All right. Hammond and King is just too fun of a way for me to play this. I have to have one of these. I personally love Bryson Washington. Now we're just trying to give back. We're trying to give back, Jay Whitty. We're trying to put my man in a 50K win here today. That's what we're looking for. All right. How do I want to play this? I want to play this with Tyson. I want to play this with McAllister. I can go 36-42. Oh, that's just too easy to do that. Yeah, I feel you. I've been on some other stuff. All right, perfect. That is a great question, Ian. Let me pull that. I will pull that right now. Probably. We can work towards something. We can work towards something. Eventually, we're not quite there yet. Oh, what are we doing, FanDuel? Let's share this tab. All right, 5,600 and under. So when I'm here, if I have Sorsby, appreciate it, Danelle. So if I have Sorsby, I like Caldwell as a shot play at 55. He can get there. It would be really good. He's just a big play threat. Can he burn you? Yes, very much so. I do like Caldwell, though, with Sorsby. I'm taking shots on that. Joe Royer is going to be a much more safe play. I just don't think the upside's necessarily there to win you a tournament. I would prefer Caldwell from that aspect. I personally really like Colby Young at 5,500. I think the floor and ceiling combination are very good. And I would say I tried to come down here. I don't hate Canyon at 5,400 when paired with Haynes King. If you want to go there, I don't love that, but I don't hate it. And if you want to just go absolute nuke puke show, I don't know. I don't hate Ashton Hawkins. He's running 95% of the routes, but he just hasn't been getting the volume. The volume or the routes are there, the targets aren't. 5,200, I'm okay there. Look, he's going to start again. I scored more fantasy points than he did last week, and I watched him play. So I don't want to do it, but if I'd be lying if I said I don't have one or two FanDuel teams with him. I can't say I don't, So I'll tell you right now, I did throw up a bit in my mouth when I did it, and I did it again though a couple times. So just letting you know, I'm if nothing if not transparent. Some people might not tell you that. I did. I went there once or twice. I don't feel good about it though. Let's be honest. All right. Let me double check and make sure I don't have any news on. Let me make sure. We got more injury updates. Okay, what do we got? Stephon Johnson is out for Houston. Mari Thomas, Harvey Broussard, and Kobe Young are going to start at wide receiver for the Cougs. Let me see if I can pull up some Justice Haynes information, just because that's kind of pertinent in this spot. Did I place Chatania on the first two teams? No on number one. Yes on number two. Do I want to play Satania here at 36? That's going to leave me 42, which really makes it so I want to play. It's going to end up making me want to play Jordan Marshall. Ed Small is a game time decision for the TCU Baylor game. I don't think we go there. Justice Haynes is dressed and currently warming up. That is not optimal, folks. So if you got a ton of Marshall, luckily for me on FanDuel, I don't think I have any Marshall. I will double check that after I get off stream, but I'm probably going to avoid playing Jordan Marshall in this spot now. I'll probably stay away. Question would be, who do I want to play in this spot now? If I'm on Washington, Owens, Tyson, McAllister, yes, and more yes. I can go 47, but then I've got 31 left, so I don't love that. Because I would like to get Eakin in with Hammond. That would be fun. I don't think you have to do that, though. I don't love the 3,100 guys. We've kind of mentioned that. I don't mind going 41 Eric Rivers, because I can't play Marshall if he's in there. I don't mind going Rivers. I think Rivers has a legitimate shot to explode today. Let's go Rivers at 41. Yeah. Or we could go Riscano and like an Amari Thomas. Riscano's interesting. I like Amari Thomas. I don't love the game environment, but he's played pretty good. I don't love that, though. I probably would prefer to go Eric Rivers here. And then that gives me 37, which we all know who I like here. Reminder, play him in the flex, because then that gives me the optionality. I can switch to Dickey if something weird happens and Levitt's out. Let's go Satania because he's by far and away my favorite guy down here. All right, so we're going Hammond, Washington, Owens, Satania, Callister, Rivers. That is ballsy going Rivers, by the way. I have a feeling I'm an Eric Rivers fan from when he was at FIU. I'm going to play Eric Rivers. So that is another option in there. All right. Team number 4. We're getting close. We got 5. We got 5 teams built. We got 2 more to build. Let's do this team because I actually do want to build it. I think it's going to be a fun one. Let's go Hoover. Let's go Hoover, Bryson Washington. I do love Bryson Washington this week, if you haven't noticed. Very much so. McAllister, got to. I want DeMond Williams in this. I want DeMond Williams. Now, the question is, do I want to pair DeMond Williams or not, is the $1 million question. I might not. I might play Marsh with him. Actually, I like Quayshawn Brown. I haven't played him yet either. I don't know why I haven't played Quayshawn Brown yet. Klubnik is probably not. All of my sources say Klubnik's out. Vizina's going to start. Thank you for reminding me. I do have to switch a entry that has Klubnik in and Vizina out. In my lower dollar stuff, I'm perfectly content playing Vizina or playing the Clemson triples. Most of the rest of the time, I'm probably going to avoid doing that. I just think it's too risky, too rich for my blood to want to get to that in some of that stuff. So I'm probably going to avoid some of that. And with him warming up, I'm probably going to switch off of a little bit of that stuff. Let's see. I can do it because that would give me 4,300 left. I can go Denzel Boston here, and then I would have 4,300 left for a flex. 4,300. That gets you like Desmond Roebuck. Oh, you could go Desmond Roebuck. You could double stack him. I don't want to do that. That's for dang sure. I could go Heinz Bright or Vines Bright or whatever it is. You know what? I know exactly what I'm going to play here. Give me Dickey. I like Dickey. Why not? We got to play a little Dickey. Little Dickey. And we're going to play Washington and Dickey together. I don't think I have that. I don't think I'm going to end up with that either. I have one Washington team. Oh, no, I have a Washington Dickey. It's with Hoover and King together. But then that gives me 3,200, which I like. Who is it that I liked at 3,200? Where is he at? Let me see. There was somebody that I didn't mind there. Not Marlon Klein, that's for dang sure. No. There is nobody at 3,200. Okay, well, maybe we're not doing that. I like Marsh though as a pairing. I don't like that. I think. Well, the thing is, okay. Do we do the do? You know what you could do is go Jordan Tyson here. But how much Tyson do I have? Because I'm probably going to end up with another Tyson team, and I don't really particularly want to have a ton of Tyson in this. I'm 100% going to have another Tyson team, so I might as well just chalk that up because that Will Hammond team is going to have Tyson. What's Bryson Washington am I going to have? Damn, I'm going to have like 80% Bryson Washington in this thing too. I do like Bryson Washington. Let's see. I could go 6,600 Nate Shepard in this, and then I would have 4,300 at wide receiver. Oh, I could go Desmond Roebuck at that point. That would be somewhat fun. You play Roebuck with him. All the attention goes to the other guys. Roebuck's playing well. Let me see on that. What is Desmond Roebuck looking like? That could be fun. I think Nate Shepard could be fun in that spot. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's somewhat a fun way to play it. Yeah, that could be good. What if we play Roebuck here? Play Nate Shepard here. That's just a different. This is just a different. Oh, yeah, because that's where you would play Boston normally. Let's see. Gotta put Owens in there. This is just a completely different team. Like this is the one that's I'm like I normally would not play this. Not in this contest, but this is me going off the board a little bit. Oh, I need a running back. I need Ruben Owens. And then I want Nate Shepard. This is just playing a little different. I just want to play a little bit different. I think Washington and Shepard both go under owned. Owen's going to be a popular play. Hoover, popular play. McAllister, popular play. So you got to have some chalk. But then you get a little bit different. You got a Michigan freaking stack. Michigan Washington stack of all things. Let's play it. Why not? I think there's worse things. I've spent $20 on worse things, we'll say. All right. Share this. This is our last team before I start building some weird or fixing some other things on my own end. So we played Hoover or Hammond and King. We are going to play basically a similar team because it's going to be Hoover and Hammond, which is going to be I just have to play something different because I had Rivers and whatever. So the fact that I have Hoover, I'm going to end up with McAllister in that team again because why not? He's chalky, but it's worth it. It's worth it to eat the chalk on that one. Oh, God. We're going to end up with 5. Oh, we got McAllister across the board. All right, well, I might end up switching McAllister somewhere. I got way too much McAllister. Golly, I've literally got 1,000% McAllister. I just don't see how he's just too good. He's too good of a play. Too good of a play. You know what? I've been saying I need to just lean into some of this stuff, so we're gonna lean into it. I am a McAllister fan, so it's kind of hard for me not to want to do that. And he's delivered, even though he shouldn't have the last couple weeks. All right, so this is basically what we played in that Haynes King team so far. Similar build. I had Bryson Washington in that one. I'm not going to play Bryson Washington in this one. I played Tyson, so I'm going to play Tyson, though, because he does make a lot of sense here. Okay. We're not going to play Satania. We're not going to play Bryson Washington. How do we get different? Oh, my goodness. I'm not doing that. No. My temptation right now, folks, is to play Jamal Haynes at ridiculously low ownership, but I don't think I'm going to do that either. Do I want to play a very cheap? Do I want to play Dickey with Hammond and just go all Texas Tech? I mean, this just makes too much sense. I love Bryson Washington in this spot. I can go 3,200 for Scano. That leaves me with 4,600 for a wide receiver. So I played last time. We played Satania. We played Rivers, Tyson, Washington. We literally played this exact team. We just played Satania and Rivers together. So that's why I don't want to particularly play that. Let's play Adam Randall. Mix it up. Let's go with that. I like that. I like Adam Randall as a player. I'm not playing him very much, so I'm going to play Adam Randall. All right, then that's going to allow me. I could do this. We could play Cameron. I like Cameron. Yeah, I like Cameron. Do I need anybody with Will Hammond? Is the question. Like, should I be playing anybody with Will Hammond? Do I need to play anybody with Will Hammond? Not really. Do I want to play anybody with Will Hammond? Not really. I think Cameron makes a ton of sense there with Randall. I think you could play like Jacoby Williams. You could play Carter. What if you played? What if you played Eakin? That would be 900 less. That would give you 4,700 back. Don't love that spot there. You could play a number of ways there. Kind of like Eakin triple here a little bit too. All right, so let's go flex 3,800. I mean, you'll know who I like. Favorite guy down here is very obvious. I actually want 3,900. That's the. All right, we're doing that. Never mind. I changed my mind. I'm not going Cameron. Screw Baylor. Screw you, Baylor. We're mixing it up. Give me Reggie Virgil because I want to get to a specific player in this spot. That's why. So sorry. I want Quayshawn Brown. I want to get the Quayshawn Brown in this spot. Yeah. Sorry, I do like Baylor today, but I can't play him in every lineup. I've got Bryson Washington in almost every freaking team. I'm way too overexposed to Baylor. I will say I have way too much exposure. I'm going to play. I want to stack this Texas Tech game in this spot, and I wanted to get a piece of Quayshawn Brown. That's the only reason I'm doing that. So in this spot, particular instance, screw you, Baylor. But it's not very. For my bags, I need Baylor to be insanely good. So I'm with you 100%. And I actually could go if depending how this team starts out, I could easily swap this to a Texas Tech onslaught and go with Cameron Dickey. That would be fun. I definitely could do that. I could end up swapping this to a Texas Tech onslaught if I really want to get different, depending how I feel. So yeah, so we're gonna play it through this. I like Adam Randall. I like Quayshawn Brown. That probably would have played really well with a Haynes King in this spot, but we're gonna do that one. All right, let me check my FanDuel stuff. I think I'm gonna end up on that. I don't even know what I've just built at this point. My mind's slanging right now. Why is FanDuel log? FanDuel logs me out more than any other company in the world. I swear to you. I can't stand it. I have no clue what I just logged in as. Okay. Yeah, FanDuel just loves to log me in and out of freaking content all the time. All right, let's see. Justice Haynes is the first running back in the pecking order. That means he's going to play. So there you go. All right, thank you for my authentication code. I would be a moron if I had just shared that, but that's why it gives me the option not to. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. All right, so let's go to upcoming. I want to kind of look and see if there's something that I really want to play. Here, I'll share these because thank you, boss. You think Kewan Lacey and Randall are going to have a lot of ownership? That's interesting. If that's the case, then I'm going to be way off of I'm on my own island, which I'm happy about. I would prefer to. I've actually gotten off of Lacey as the week went on. I've gotten off of Randall as the week went on. Huh. That's interesting. Well, I might be off the train then because I'm way in on the like Dickey, Owens, Washington guys, and then maybe some Nate Shepard mixed in. Let's see. Like you can see on these though, we're talking. I have massive Owens, like literally on FanDuel, it's Wisner, Owens, Washington. That's pretty much the three that are getting played for me. I got a little bit of love. Okay. I was on Shambliss early. I've moved off and moved into the Will Ham. I prefer Hammond to Shambliss. Hoover, I think, gets a ton of ownership. I'm surprised at Boston. I would think McAllister would be. I do not like Omega Blake. Not especially with all the rain coming. That's weird. I'm happy. I would prefer to for me to be on my own stuff. Yes, so I agree with that. It's just in games this year, Douglas didn't get. I like Doug. I'm a Douglas fan, so I do have some Douglas. Um, Look at this, just nasty beast right here. You get a Georgia Tech Duke kind of game stack with some Will Hammond mixed in. That's just an ugly beast. There's some Tyree Walker exposure. And you want to talk about a puke stack? You hold your nose and get you some Man Jack Dwyer doubles. Like that's just ugly. Eric Rivers by far and away my favorite Georgia Tech wide receiver today. I like Coy Eakin. Hey, there's a Sam Jackson for you. I like Cam Coleman on this in FanDuel. So I'm in there. I've got some interest. There's some Caldwell, little Brazzle. I love Horton's price on FanDuel. This is a good way to get that game. There's a little Evan Pryor. Hopefully he breaks a couple off in that spot. Arch Manning doubles, little Texas onslaught for your viewing pleasure. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure. There's another Sam Jackson because I enjoy Payne. Um, Shambliss, I like with Lee. I think that's a fun way to play that game. Wisner, I think, is going to get overrun with ownership more than likely. This probably should be Caldwell if we're. I'm not going to do it because I should, but this should be Caldwell. It should be King Rivers Caldwell in that spot. Personally, that's where it should be, or it should be Caldwell here and take the 400 to get you to Wisner here. That's probably what it should be, but I'm just not going to do it because no tinkering right now. No tinkering. Let's see. Like all those, I do. Like I said, I still do have some of that Texas A&M Arkansas game on FanDuel in the low dollar stuff. I just don't want to risk a lot of money on that game with the weather issues when I'm not certain. Terrence Carter is a fabulous play. This is a beautiful lineup. You want to talk about one of the most beautiful FanDuel lineups going into the day? I love this lineup. You get Hoover, you get McAllister, you get Coleman, you get Carter with Hammond, you get Washington and Owens. Oh, that is a gorgeous team. That is a beautifully built masterpiece, the Mona Lisa, some would say, of FanDuel teams for today. Let's see. Anything else? Nope. Hammond and Carter, they just fit beautifully together. Just the two of us. All right. Sorsby. Yeah. All right. That's where I would be. Yeah. So that'll work. All right. Cool. On to that, I'm good. Let's see here. Let's refresh this. Also, is there anything worse than oh, I needed to update that entry. Update entry. Let's go Update entry. Just to make sure I've got them all in. Okay. Live in. Let's go here. Is there anything worse than them showing possible winnings of $125,000? Not going to happen. All right. So in Roto, they got Jeremiah Smith. That's funny. So for my money, Jeremiah Smith is projected at 22.4. And then my top projected guy is Jordan Tyson at 23.1. And then Blake, I don't even know what Blake's projection is. I took him out after I ran it. I removed guys from the pool. I removed Omega Blake from the pool just because I had no interest whatsoever. I get why he's in there, but I just removed. I like Quayshawn Brown personally. Let's see here. Should we build a night game slate team? We can look at this. Why not? Let's look at the night slate. I like Quayshawn Brown. I have no idea. I've never actually looked at Roto. Oh, you mean Roto Grinders? Oh, I don't even know. I don't. I only have the NASCAR sub. That's it. I kind of think, in my opinion, I'm interested in that. Oh, RotoWire. Okay. I don't know. I think ETR and Roto Grinders are probably the best two at college. They have some of the better guys. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe Fantasy Points. One of the guys over there, Josh Chevalier, went to James Madison as well. I need to talk to him in the offseason. I haven't gotten around to that about some stuff. But so, like, that's where I want to go the most. And obviously, you guys know this is probably where I'm going to end up to some extent. What is their expensive wide receiver? See, this is the problem, though. I don't want to spend a lot on Lemon. I think that it's very viable to pay for the yeah, Justice Haynes is warming up 100%. That's right. That was why I was looking at that. Lineups. Thank you for reminding me. I was trying to get off of hang on, let's share this tab while I'm over here playing around with late lineups. So these are the teams that I have in. Klubnik's doubtful, so we need to edit that. Let's just go to Vizina, because why not? I mean, maybe Vizina plays well. 7,400. I don't mind that as a triple. That's going to give me 700. Well, that's pretty easy to go up from Cameron to, I mean, let's just do that. Why not? I don't really want to come off a Dickey in that spot, and I'll just play Eric McAllister. There you go. Assign lineup. Yes, assign lineup. There you go. Thank you. All right. Let's see. What else do we need to fix? Good. I don't love that Amari Thomas play, but we'll play it. Look at that Kobe Prentice, disgusting. Mateer, perfectly fine with all that. Perfectly fine with all that. That could easily be Quayshawn Brown, and then we bump up somebody else. But whatever. Hoover, good with that. Where is the Marshall teams? There we go. All right, let's edit this one with Marshall. We'll take Marshall out. We'll put Owens in. Let's put Owens in at 44. And Hammond, King, Rascano. Oh, that's easy. I already have this team built, but I'm going to. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take CJ Donaldson in that spot. Why not? We're going to put CJ Donaldson in. There's weather. Yes. So the weather it's not windy. It's just supposed to rain like hell. And there's supposed to be nasty weather. Kevin Roth has it as orange. Heavy storms around, especially pregame and around kickoff. He thinks the game's probably going to end up being delayed. There's likely a window between storms, but the chance for storms stick around most of the day and night. Winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. There's a greater threat of rain and potential lightning, making it an issue. So that's kind of where we're at with that specific game there. All right. Here's another Marshall team. Edit. Let's get rid of Marshall. Move Owens in. Why is this? Oh, it's the same freaking team. Let's go. Let's get Ruben in. Oh, I don't want Ruben there. I could have 1,000 more if I went to Riscano. Let's go. Let's go Ruben here. Okay, and then we'll play this one a little bit different because we already went. Well, we went to Donaldson. That was kind of fun. Let's go Zach Branch. Why not? I think he could easily pop 1 or 2 in this spot. We could definitely go off of Satania too if we wanted to get into the mid 5s. Yes, you too, David. You too. Best of luck today. Yeah, I'm just updating my it's blasé in my opinion. I think they're kind of doo-doo personally. See, I can't. Yeah, I could get 3,100. See, I wish I could get, if I could get Satania and Eakin in here, I'd be so pumped. But all right, we'll do that. Okay. I think Taylor Green is a fine play. Do I have some Taylor Green? Yes, I have a little bit, but he's expensive, and I don't like where they're what they're playing as. I just don't love it. I wish that I feel like Max don't have a find button on this sucker. Is this it? Nope, that's search tabs. Damn it. I was looking for a find, and I wanted to see if I could just find Jordan Marshall. Let's see. Here's another one. There's another Marshall. All right, let's pop Marshall out. Move Dickey up here. Where are you at, Dickey? Let's move Dickey up there. And then 4,300 for the flex. I don't like that. Let's go off of Dickey. Let's have some more fun. We got Denzel Boston in this beast. Jesus. All right, give me Jeremiah Smith and 3,200, 3K. You know what? I don't want Jeremiah Smith in that spot. Give me Nate Shepard and then Jordan Tyson. No, that gives me 4,300. I don't like that either. Give me Wesco and then 6,100. There we go. I'll take Bowens for just once. Because why not? Just to have one. All right. And then make sure we're just pulling some Marshall teams out. Let's see. We like that team too. Damn. All right, let's pull Marshall out of that team. Let's put Donaldson in. Why not? We'll just do that. That's simple. Oh, that's the coffin corner too. Oh, damn it. I don't want that. All right. All right. I got to run and knock these out because I cannot be playing freaking that dude in the coffin corner. So I got to fix that one. All right. Any last minute questions? Let me know. I've got to figure this team out right here, I guess, because I cannot play this in the coffin corner. That's ridiculous. That would be so stupid. So I'm going to swap that out. Let's see. Who do I want to play in the coffin corner? Oh, I got to play Owens. Give me Ruben Owens. And do not want to play Michael Trigg. Oh man, that's the ultimate troll job. I'm okay with Manjack. Don't love him. Marshall's still getting reps. Let me double check because everything I've read says that you're going to or that Haynes is getting everything early. Cheap guys, probably. I mean, it's definitely Ruben Owens and Kedrick Riscano with Bo Jackson. I don't hate taking shots on CJ Donaldson, but it's just not my personal favorite. Both Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes are repping with the ones, but Marshall got the first carry between the two. Michigan running backs and warm-ups. Jordan Marshall. Justice Haynes is dressed in warming up, but was fourth running back. I mean, who knows at this point anymore, man? What the frick? I don't know what's going on anymore. Not with this. This is nonsense, we'll say. So I want to play this. I want to play Dickey in this team. I want to play Owens. I want to play McAllister. I want to play Cameron. I want to play Satania. That leaves me with $5,800 DraftKings dollars that I'm not going to play on Michael Trigg. I really want to play Wesco and Marshall. What was this team? Which team is this? Is this the smaller one or is this the bigger one? This is the bigger one. All right, screw it. We're keeping it. We're keeping Marshall in that one for right now. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. I'm going to keep an eye on that stuff so I make swaps, but I don't really want to tinker with this. So I'm going to take a look through everything, make sure I got everything together. Best of luck to everybody. May the odds ever be in your favor, as they would say. Hopefully we don't have the injuries that we had a week ago because that was just absolutely abysmal. But I will see you guys.